So in today's video, we will be creating an AI-powered voice assistant which is capable of saving your time, energy, and of course money and your valuable resources. So it will handle your about 99% of inbound queries, and it is capable of looking into your calendar, checking the slots. If the slot is available, then scheduling the booking onto that slot. If slot is not available, presenting the alternative slots to your customers, and based on that, the slot booking. Then updating your CRM, then sending you the email about that lead, that what kind of automation they want. Means it will create an automatic description of the conversation, and it will send you the description in 1 or 2 lines, and it will also create a proper title for your call. So you can be ready for that. You can be ready for that call, and you will be getting that customer. So if you want me to develop this kind of automation, feel free to reach me out. I have given my contact details in the channel description. Also, I am pasting that details into this video description. So now we will be first seeing the demo of this call. Then we will be seeing that how we can develop this. In this video also, I have shown you what kind of mistakes can be there and how to solve those mistakes. So I am dialing my mobile number, which we have wired from the Twilio. So this is my mobile. So I have dialed this. So now let's call with it.
You have a trial account. You can remove this message at any time by upgrading to a full account. Press any key to execute your code.
Hi, I am Mary from Automiz AI. How can I assist you today in enhancing your business with AI?
So actually, I want to integrate an automation into my business.
That's wonderful to hear. May I have your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Anand.
Nice to meet you, Anand. Could you tell me a bit about your business? What industry are you in? E-commerce, healthcare, SaaS, or something else?
Yeah, I run a SaaS business. I have an advertising agency.
Got it, Anand. Do you already have a specific AI use case in mind? Or would you like me to suggest some possibilities for your SaaS agency?
So actually, I want to analyze every sales call of my salespeople, because it is happening on Zoom and I cannot attend every sales call. But I want the information about all the calls, what happened in that, what are the red flags of the customer, what customer have said. So actually I want minute of meeting, and I want this data for analysis purpose into my CRM.
That's a fantastic use case, Anand. AI can definitely help with analyzing sales calls. We can implement solutions that automatically transcribe and analyze your Zoom calls, extract key insights, identify customer sentiments, and even integrate this data into your CRM for further analysis. This will help you keep track of customer interactions and improve your sales strategies. Would you like to connect with Mr. Anand for a more detailed consultation on this?
Yeah, I would love to.
Perfect. When would you be available for a quick call with Mr. Anand? Please let me know your preferred date and time.
Can we do it in upcoming Monday at 2:30 p.m.?
Great. Let me check the availability for a call on the upcoming Monday at 2:30 p.m. for 30 minutes. Could you please provide your email address to confirm the booking?
Yeah, it's zenvioventures@gmail.com.
Thank you. Thank you, Anand. Let me confirm the availability for the call on Monday at 2:30 p.m. Please hold on for a moment. Just a sec. It seems that the slot for 2:30 p.m. on Monday is not available. However, there are several other time slots open on that day. Here are some options: 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 10 a.m., 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., 11 a.m. to 11.
Okay, can we do it for 11 a.m.?
The slot from 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Monday is available. Shall I go ahead and book it for you?
Yeah, please.
Just a sec. You're all set, Anand. Your consultation with Mr. Anand is scheduled for Monday at 11 a.m. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly. Looking forward to helping you automate your business. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask.
Oh yeah, thank you. I don't have any questions.
You're welcome. Anand, have a great day, and I look forward to our call on Monday.
Yeah. So now we have seen that how it is calling. So our agent is working perfectly fine. And now let's see if it has book and call or not. So to verify this, we just have to we will be going on to our Google Calendar. So actually my Google Calendar is means I have given the location as the USA, so it will match the data with 5-hour adjustment. So if you can see here, for the Monday, on Monday, that's the 17th. So yeah, so it has scheduled a call at 4 p.m. because I told you that I have means we have an adjustment of 5 hours, so that's why. So we have given its slot as the 11 to 11:30. So it has chosen the 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. So if you see here in the the title of this call is consultation of AI automation for SaaS, and the description is discuss AI solutions for analyzing sales calls and CRM integration. So it has analyzed it and created a proper description. So now let's see the email. So go on to the inbox part. So yeah, here you can see that we have the meeting summary, means the summary of that call, like the title of the sales call, then customer name, who was the customer, then what is the customer email address, then the description, what should be the means what is happening in that call, and the event details link. So if we click on this event details link, it will hop onto our calendar and show us the event details. So I'm just clicking on it. Yeah, so after clicking on it, it is showing us the detail of the call which which Anand has just scheduled. So this is the details of that. Now let's see the CRM part. So we have created one Excel sheet to update the data. So here is this Excel sheet. So let's check in that data is properly saved or not. So yeah, if you can see here at line number 15 that it has added the proper data, that is a client name, client email, then the title of the call, description, and the calendar link. So we can use this data and we can store that data into our CRM for the personalized follow-ups and a lot more things. So this is going to be our workflow. So to create a production ready assistant, we need to divide this, means how should we approach this? So we need to divide the thinking into two parts, that is the front end part and back end part. So in the front end part, what we are going to do, that creating the voice assistant part, integrating with the Twilio, that assistant, creating the tool to communicate with the backend. So on the backend side, what we are going to do, we are creating the N8N part, like webhook, calendar, book, slot booking, then Excel and all those things. So let's see. Firstly, you need to go onto the VAPI, then you have to create an assistant. Then after creating an assistant, you need to craft and prompt, and you need to provide a specific data to it. Then you have to create the tools. So this tool is going to call the backend, and it will also get the data from the backend. Then after that, you need to add the phone number. So to add the phone number, you have to import it from the Twilio. So for phone number, we will be using Twilio. So firstly, create account on Twilio. Then you have to buy a number on that, and the SID and authentication will be generated. Then you have to use this SID and authentication token to import the phone number onto your VAPI so that you can call by a number. So once the assistant is started talking, so it will internally call this tool after registering this tool with the assistant. So this tool will call the N8N webhook node. So this is going to happen through an URL. We need to register that specific webhook URL to our tool. Then after registering that, this will get this our webhook will get the data from the VAPI, and using that data, we will be checking the calendar. Then we will be booking the slot, presenting the alternative slots, sending the email, updating the CRM part like Excel or anything, any CRM which you want. Then after that, responding back to the VAPI to give the proper result that it is book or it means our we have provided alternate slot. So this all information needs to be provided to VAPI. So this is going to happen through this respond back webhook node. So let's see how can we create it. So let's open our command prompt, cmd, then start our N8N server. Start N8N. This is the command to start the N8N server locally. So it will start the server locally. So for that, to run it, I am using the Chrome browser. So N8N is getting started. So now N8N is started. Just copy this URL and paste it onto your browser. After pasting onto your browser, it is running locally, so you can access the dashboard of this N8N. So now we have to create one new workflow. So I'm creating a new workflow. So I am giving the name to it as, we can say, calendar booking assistant. So firstly, we need to add one webhook. So we are adding this webhook to communicate between the VAPI and the N8N. So the data which is coming from the VAPI, so that will get into our N8N. So for that, we need to use one webhook. So it will take the data from the VAPI and it will do its processing. So here the webhook node is here. Just click on it, add it. So it is going to be a post request. Why it is a post request? Because some data is coming onto our request, and based on that we need to handle some part. So this is going to be a post request. So that's why I'm using it as a post request. So there are two options. One is the test URL and one is the production URL. So test URL is the URL which is going to use for the testing purpose. Like when we click on the test workflow, then this test URL will be used. But in case of the production, like if you are hosted your automation onto cloud or anywhere, like now we are going to use this production URL to communicate between VAPI. So for that, we need to use this production URL. So here is different parameters: auth, authentication, and response. So we are sending the response back to the VAPI. So that's why we will be using response to webhook node. So let's back onto the canvas. So now copy this URL. Click to copy this webhook URL, copy it. So now let's create our VAPI workflow. For the VAPI, I am creating a new account to show you how it works. Go on to the VAPI for developers, VAPI.ai. Register here. So I have registered here. Open dashboard. So this will create a page to login. So I have already logged in, so that's why this is not showing me that page. So this is some Google form kind of thing. Just okay, next, finish. So VAPI has given 1000 free minutes to use. So we can use it, or $10. So let's create our assistant. So I am creating a new assistant whose name is going to be, so let's say his name is Mary. So we are starting from the blank template. Click on the blank template. Create assistant. So now here we have to give the first message and the system prompt to it. Then here on the right hand side, here we can see that there is a provider option. Here are multiple providers: VAPI, OpenAI, Google, Grok, and lot more. So we are using the OpenAI as a provider, and the model which I am using is 4.0. Yeah, I will be using this GPT-4o mini cluster. Here in the files, you have to give the required data source. Like we can say that for your voice agent, some information that needs to be filled, that it needs to be known. So that information we can add into one file, and that file we can upload here. Like suppose you are running an e-commerce store. In that e-commerce store, there are multiple products. Then there the information related to that product is saved in some file. So if you give that file to this model, then this will analyze that file and give the result based on that file. So that's why here is the file option. Then the temperature. So the temperature, like it's the minimum temperature is 0 and maximum is 2. So what it is indicating? So it is indicating between the creativity. So if you want the exact answer, or you want to be straightforward, then keep the temperature low. But if you want some creativity, then you can keep the temperature high. So here is one more field, that is a maximum token. So it indicates that how much is the maximum token limit should be used by that GPT model. So that's for this max token is there. Here also the first message. In the first message, we have to specify that what should be the first message. Like when the Mary will talk with the client, then what means how should it start the conversation? Like, hi Mary, and nice to meet you. So this can be the one message, or any other message which you would like to give. Then system prompt. System prompt, we have to craft and prompt that how it should behave, how should it behave in different scenarios, what it has to do, then some kind of example to it. So this kind of conversation can be there, and you have to handle this conversation like this. So this can be the system prompt. So I am adding the system prompt, I am creating the system prompt and adding it. So now here I have added first message. First message I have added, that is the hi, I am Mary from Automazia. How can I assist you today in enhancing your business with AI? Then here the prompt I have added. First I have mentioned the role. So what is the role of Mary? Then what kind of task it has to do. That its job is to help potential customers understand how AI automation can improve their business, and schedule a consultation with Mr. Arun, that is me. Then when a customer inquires about AI automation, ask for their name, determine the industry which they are working, ask if they have already a business case in mind. If they have a business case, then collect that detail, explain relevant AI automation solutions based on their industry, then suggest connecting with me, then ask for the preferred time and date to call and the call duration. If it is not given, then assume it's a 30 minute. Then before scheduling the call, use check calendar. That is a function which you will be creating. Then check if it is available, then confirm the booking. If it is unavailable, then suggest alternatives. If no alternatives, suggest speaking a different. And also I have said that when to end the conversation, when the customer explicitly ends it, a booking is successful, or customer declines, or for the alternative slots or date. And that. Then specifics. If a customer asks for the what AI automation can do, so provide industry specific example. Then pass the exact time and date provided by the customer to the function. Then don't confirm availability without checking the calendar. Then capturing the information about the day of booking, like tomorrow, next day. Then do not reveal availability until checking the check calendar. And keeping responses engaging, and if Mary will not able to hear properly, then confirm before proceeding further. So response handling, I have added that after check handler continues the conversation with the customer until the customer confirms the time slot, chooses a different date, or declines the booking. Then I have specified the conversation style. Then I have created one example. So what kind of conversations it has to do. So in the example, so actually I have given the name here as Arya instead of Mary. So I have to change that. So yeah, I will change it. So now I have changed the name of this AI assistant from Arya to Mary. So now we have to create the tool. So tool is the something that which we can use to call the N8N workflow. So firstly we had created one webhook. So to access that webhook means we are creating one function which will call that webhook and sends the data. So we are giving the name of this tool as check calendar. Then the description of it is like checks the availability for meet based on calendar and also creates booking. So the parameters, here we have to add the parameters to it. So the parameters are going to be the we can say that the data which we are passing from the network request. So this is going to be that data. So I am adding the property. First property I am adding is the customer name, customer underscore name. So it is going to be string. So in the description I am adding customer name apply. Then add the property customer email, customer email string, customer and adding new property that is the date. That is also going to be string. Date for schedule call. Apply. Then time. Time for the MIP to be scheduled. Okay. Then duration. For how much duration this call should last. Duration. Duration for which this time which this bit should be created. Okay, then apply it. So now we have the customer name, customer email, its date of the schedule call, timing. Then the call is related to what? So the title for this call, title for this meet. Then the description. Title. Then we need to create the description so that as a owner we can understand that why this call is there. So description. So it will give us the background about that. Description for the meet. So yeah, these fields are enough. So rename this field. Instead of customer, C is small. Here also C should be small. So here we are following the camel casing. So that's why C is small. Then here the server URL. So we have to paste our server URL. For that we have to go onto the our N8N calendar booking assistant. Here I have told you that there are two kinds of URLs, that is the test URL and production URL, and we are going to use this production URL. But this N8N is hosted locally, so it's like http/localhost 56 and the port number. So this machine IP is localhost, but this localhost is not available on the internet, and VAPI will not know if we give the localhost how they can understand the localhost. So for that I have one solution. You have to download the NGRock. So with the NGRock, what it does, it will host your local servers, means it will make your local machine available over the internet. I have already installed the NGRock, so I have to just give it the port number NGRock HTTP then 55678. It is the port number of my N8N server where it is hosted on my local machine. So what it has done, that it has created the forwarding. So if you copy this URL http/ this host information, then ngrock/free. So what it is doing, it has hosted this HTTP localhost 5678 here. Just copy it, go onto your VAPI and paste it here. After pasting it, go on to your N8N server and copy this production URL. After copying this production URL, go on to the VAPI / paste it. So here just remove this host port. Yeah. So after removing the host and port, our server URL is like this. Make sure it don't have any space, otherwise it will not save. So here is the last. Here we have the HTTP headers. So we can pass the custom HTTP headers here. Then the message also we can pass here. So that's enough for us for our calendar tool. Let's save this tool. After saving this tool, go to our assistant. So Mary. Here in the functions, we have to add this tool. So here is the select tool. Add our check calendar tool here. After adding the check calendar tool, we can also change the voice. So here is the 11 Labs Sahara. So we can use the any voice here. I am using the Cartesia and California Puma. California. So yeah, I am using this voice. Let's publish this. So after publishing it, go on to our N8N server, back to the canvas and activate this workflow. We have to just check that our connection from the N8N to VAPI is connected, means is created. So let's test it. For that, go here, talk with the assistant. Click here, talk with the assistant. Let's see how our assistant works. So allowing while using this site. So I'm making it available for the VAPI. So now it is connecting with the Mary.
I am Mary from Automize AI. How can I assist you today in enhancing your business with AI?
Hi Mary, my name is John and I want to create and sales automation for my agency.
Hi, John. It's great to meet you. What type of agency do you run? Is it in e-commerce, healthcare, SaaS, or another industry?
So actually I am currently running an advertising agency and I want to analyze the all sales calls of my peoples.
That sounds like a valuable initiative, John. Automating the analysis of sales calls can provide insights into customer interactions, improve sales strategies, and enhance team performance. AI can help by transcribing calls, identifying key themes, and even providing sentiment analysis. Would you like to connect with Mr. Annan to explore this further?
Yeah, I would love to.
Fantastic. When would you be available for a quick call with Mr. Annan? Please let me know your preferred date and time.
Can we schedule it for tomorrow 2:30 p.m.?
Sure. Just to confirm, could you please provide me with your email address so I can set up the booking?
Yeah, my email address is zenviewventures@gmail.com.
Hold on a sec. It looks like tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. is not available. Would you like to choose an alternative time slot or should we look at a different date?
Oh yeah, thank you. So now we have seen that it is getting triggered properly and it is talking with us properly. Let's see if our N8N workflow was triggered or not. I don't think it is triggered. So let's see why it is not triggered. Check the logs. Let's see the API logs. Let's check our. Yeah, so actually it has made the request to our webhook, but it got internal server error because we set it to respond. Use respond to webhook node. So let's select the immediately. Let's back onto the canvas. Let's see its executions. Yeah, so it has executed before some time. So in the webhook, let's see what all information it has got. Yeah, so it was because of that only. Let's retry with the currently saved workflow. So this got succeeded. Let's see the data. So actually it does not have any data. Okay. Let's retry it. Or we can do one thing. We can go to tools. and inside the tool which we have created, we will test it. So in this request body, we will pass the information which we need to pass, like date, tomorrow, then time, 2:30 p.m. 2:30 p.m. Then title, discovery call, duration. By default it's 30 minutes, so I'm considering it as a 30-minute only. 30 minutes. Yeah, I need to give comma here. Then description. In the description, sales call with John to discover possibilities of AI automation in advertising agency. Then after the description, we have the customer name. Pass the customer name, customer underscore name, John, customer underscore email, is Zinio Ventures @gmail.com. Let's see, send the request. Expected property, this at position 2. Date, time, title. I think everything is proper. Yeah. Take this also in quotes. So customer email also. Let's test it. Send the request. Yeah, it has sent the request and responded with status 500. It means that internal error, internal server error. So here we can see like internal server error. So let's hop onto your N8N to see what was that error and why this error is there. So here is the execution, current execution. In the webhook, what it has done, yeah, go to the editor, init, respond immediately, okay, production URL, and save it. After saving it, test for the workflow and call this tool again. Let's see its execution. First call it, test, send request, So now the response is 200. It means that our workflow has started and the data has been come into our workflow. Let's check. Let's see in the webhook. Yeah. So we are able to get the data from the VAPI into our N8N. So this was our first step to get the data. So I'm making it available for the use. For that, I'm just copying it first and execution data. Back to the canvas. Go to the editor. In the webhook, in its response, first stop listening. In its response, there is a set mock data. So I am setting the mock data here. Oh, sorry. Discard it. Go to the execution. In this execution, copy this data. Copy it back, go to the editor and paste into the editor. Actually it has copied dot only. Executions, data, copy this data. Copy selection, output data is copied. Go editor, set mock data, Control A, Control B. Sorry. Copy this mock data. Let's paste it. Yeah. So I have pasted it, but it is not in the proper format. We have tried copying that data from the trigger workflow, but it is not getting properly copied. So one thing we can do that, instead of using the production URL, if we use the test URL and start the test workflow, then it will trigger the our webhook. So just copy this test URL, go on to your VAPI. Inside the VAPI, where there is the server URL which we have added. So here, instead of webhook, you need to add your test webhook URL here. So after pasting it, save this and test it. So for the testing, I have added some sample data here already. So let's try to send the request. Okay, it is saying 404 not found. So let's see why it is not found. So let me first click on this, listen for the test event. So it is now listening. Now test it. It is saying that not found, cannot host HTTP webhook URL. Okay, let's see this. What is the problem here? Zero webhook URL server URL. Okay, I'm removing this and adding again. Copy this, paste it here. Save this. Oh, yeah. So this test data has been lost. So let's try to send the request. Yeah. So at least the request is getting sent. Let's see in the N8N. It has trigger. Yeah. So it has trigger, but it don't have any parameters. So what we need to do, we need to add the parameters for the VAPI request body. So here we need to add these parameters. So I will add these parameters. So we need to add date, then time. Our time is the suppose 2:30 p.m. 2:30 p.m. Then title. Inside the title, AI sales automation discovery call. Discovery call. And then the description. So for now I am giving the description as same as the title. Let's copy it, paste it. Then the customer name, customer underscore name, it's John. Then customer email, it is going to be one of the any email ID of mine. Gmail.com. Yeah, so we have added the sample data into the request body. So this sample data will be passed through this request body to our N8N webhook. So for that we need to start listening on the N8N again. So here we are testing the workflow. So now it is waiting for the triggered event. So go on to the VAPI and send this request. After sending this request, we can see that the response is 200. It means the request has been successfully passed to the our receiver, and in our case receiver is the N8. So N8N webhook, we can see this data. So now here we can see that we got all the data which we wanted. So here is the body parameters, that is the date, time, title, description, custom name, email. Yeah, so we can do one thing, we can pin this data for the to add the calendar event. So we will be needed some data, so that's why we will be using this data, and this webhook is the connection between the VAPI and the N8N. So now let's add the another node, that is the edit variables. So why we are adding this node, because this will means that data is in the webhook. Here we can see that in the body, and after that we can get this data. Instead of that, if we have these some parameters already defined for that, so this will be easier for us to use this data. So I'm just dragging and dropping here, drag here date. So instead of name body.date, I am giving the date, then time, drag and drop here. I am removing the body from here, then title. So here I am giving the title, then description, customer name, customer email. So now we got all this data. So let's test this step. And so here we can see that we have the proper JSON data. So the now next step is going to be, we need to, so if we can see this data, we have the date, then time in the jargon format, like we say that tomorrow, today, Wednesday, Monday, next Wednesday. We need to convert that jargon term into a specific date format. For that we have to do this processing. So for that we will be doing, so to convert that jargon time date format into the proper date format, we need to use the OpenAI's model, that we will be using the OpenAI chart model. So click on the OpenAI message model. So we will be passing some message to it. So the model which I am choosing, firstly you have to add the credentials to connect with the OpenAI account. So for that you have to go onto the OpenAI's account and you need to purchase some token, and after purchasing some tokens, this API will be available to you and you can use this. So I have already done that step So that's why I'm directly selecting the OpenAI account. Then resources, I'm selecting as a text. Then operation is message a model. Then the model which I'm choosing is, we can choose any model, but I will recommend you to use the latest model. So there are multiple models are there. For this tutorial, I'm using the GPT-4o mini model. So yeah, I'm using the GPT-4o mini model. So we need to give some prompt to it, and the prompt is like there's some instructions what it has to do. This OpenAI node have to do. So we want that our date format, it should use our date format and convert it into a properly date format. For that, we need to add one prompt. So I have already created one prompt. We will be using that prompt. So I will explain you that prompt. First let me copy this. So yeah, here I have pasted this prompt. So if I show you the prompt, it is like that. You are a date parsing assistant, and today's date is today, and your task is to convert the natural language date expression into year, month and date format. So I have given some rules to it. Always output only the date in this format. If the year isn't specified, assume the nearest future date. For the next day, select the next occurrence after the upcoming one for relative dates like tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Calculate the today's date for the numeric dates like 15th. Then assume the nearest future occurrence for the month names. Use the next occurrence if the day has passed. So I have given some example to it, like the input has come as tomorrow, then calculate tomorrow's date. Next Monday, then calculate second Monday from today. This Friday means calculate the next Friday. Day after tomorrow, calculate the day after tomorrow. Then yeah, here one mistake. Yeah, in 3 days, it means calculate date 3 days from today. Next week Tuesday, that is a calculate next week Tuesday. Then December 25th, calculate the next December 25th. Then if the date is like this 25/12, calculate the next December 25th. 25th of next month, so calculate the 25th of next month. Then first Tuesday of the next month, then calculate accordingly. Here it is missing. End of this month, calculate the last day of the current month. So if the date is in string, convert it into this format. Only respond with the date in year, month and date format. No explanation or additional text is needed. So this is going to be the input, that is the JSON date. JSON date is this one. So you can directly copy this and paste it here. So let's test this step. So here we need to select the role as system. Yeah, let's test it. Yeah, here we can see that it has given us the content as 250314. Output content as JSON. Yeah. So yes, it has created the date. Go back. So it is in the different format. We need to take it into the some variable. So we will be adding this edit variable, edit field, and we will be dragging this date here. And giving it name as date. So now we have got the properly formatted date. So next step is to convert our time into the specific 24 hours format, because there can be the time like 2:30 p.m. in the morning, 10 a.m. or anything. So how can we understand? So we need one proper structural way to understand this. For that, we will be adding some code base to convert this jargon time format to a 24-hour time format. For that, we need to add one code node, and inside that code node we have to add some code to convert that time into a 24-hour format. So don't worry, I will do this and give you this code. So now I have added this code which will convert this jargon time format to a 24-hour time format. So let me explain you this code. So in that, firstly I am taking the time, and for the debug purpose I have added this console.log statement. Then for the requested time I have added one API, that is the normalized time. So in this API we will be passing this time. So this in this function we can see that we have the time string. So firstly I'm converting into the lower case, then I'm using the regex, then I am creating one array in which I am separating the hour and minute. So here is the means in the two variables, one is the hour and one is the minute. So after splitting it, we will get the properly formatted object that will be having the hour and minutes. Then if the input is only an hour, then assume 00. So for that I'm using this time string bad start and give the 2 zeros after the dot. Then match case like 6 p.m, 6:30 p.m, 6 a.m and 6:30 p.m. So this is the regex for that, for the matching. If it is match, then I have created 3 variables, that is hour, minutes and period. So from the match I am taking these values. Then I am checking the period. If the period is to lower case, then it is the if it is equal to PM and less than 12, then the R plus equal to 12. So I have added this logic to convert the day time into a 24-hour format. If we don't have the match, then simply return null. So this is that function. So let's test this function. So after testing that function, we have given the time as 2:30 p.m. Now it is converted into 14:30. So that is 2:30 p.m. only. So now we got the proper timing, we got the date, but for how much duration it should be there. Means we need the start time, end time. So to calculate the end time we need the duration. For the duration we need to get that data from the previous nodes, and we need to calculate the end time. So for that we have to add one more node of the code. So here we need to calculate the ending time. So how we are going to calculate the ending time? We will be adding the firstly we will be converting that duration into the minutes and adding that minutes to our requested time. So it will give us the ending time. So I will add this function, don't worry about this, and I will provide you that. Yeah, so this is that function which I have added. So if I explain you this code, then it will take the duration. So yeah, firstly I have created one variable to mid start time. So it will convert time to minutes, and it is taking time from the our previous nodes JSON requested time. Then for the duration we will be using the mid duration. So actually we need to pass this mid duration. I have found that if from the VAPI we haven't passed the duration to it in the requested body, so we need to pass the duration to it. So adding duration here, duration that is 30 minutes. Yeah, and we need to listen on to our N8N server. Firstly save this, test workflow, call the request from here, send request, A network error, unable to connect to the server. This could be due to course restriction, the server being down, or network connectivity issues. Let's see the network connectivity issue. So network connectivity can be due to this or our N8N server. Yeah, it's because of, I think, N8N server only. It has triggered this. Okay, date time sales. Unpin this data. After unpinning this data, go here. Firstly, listen for the test event. So actually it has some issue. That's why it is. So I'm commenting this for now. Let's test the workflow. Yeah. So waiting for your call to the test URL, go on to the VAPI and click on the send request. Yeah, status is 200. So now let's check if we got the data. Yeah, I think we got the data. Let's check in the data here. Data title, description, customer, window. In the body parameter, yeah. In the body parameter, we got this data. That is the duration. Oh yeah, so we got the duration here. So, but we don't have that duration in the edit field. So go to the edit fields and set the duration here in the first edit fields. In the edit fields, I am adding one more parameter, that is the duration. For that, just drag it and drop it here. After dragging drop here, just rename this to duration. So test step, we got the duration data inside it. I am renaming this field edit fields. Instead of that, I am using the name as we can say data. I am renaming it to the data. So after renaming it, let's see the our prompt. In the prompt, I think we need to make some change. Yeah, JSON dotted. Okay, we don't need to make any change. Go on to the edit field one. So here we will be taking the date. So I'm renaming it to we can say that properly date, yeah, otherwise we can say that formatted date. Formatted date. So after renaming it to formatted dates, let's go on to our code. Here is the what we are doing is normalizing the time. So we are renaming this to normalize time. Yeah, after normalizing time, I am giving the name to this node as duration. So in that we are calculating the end time for this. So just comment out this space, so uncomment this space which we have commented. So I will explain you the whole process. So here is the minute start time, which we will be taking from the requested time. Then the duration. To calculate the duration, we will be using this JSON's duration data. Then end time we will be calculating using the minutes to meeting. Then start date is we are calculating convert to date format using this and console log for the debug purpose. So I have added this console log for the debug purpose. So we can inspect this and check in the console that what is the output here. And we will be calculating the end date, convert to date time format. So and data we finally we are returning one JSON object that is having the start date, end date, and duration in minutes. So yeah, these are the functions, and that is the time to minutes. So it will convert the time into the minutes, then duration to minutes. So it will convert this duration into the minutes. So duration can be any jargon term like a half hour, quarter hour, 1.5 hour, or in some minutes. So for that I have added this function to handle that case. Then minutes to time. So after getting the time into the minutes, we need to convert into the properly time. So that is the hour minutes format. Then there is one more function which I have added, that is convert to date time format. So it will convert the date and time into a properly date object. So for that, I have added this. So here is that function. So we can test this. For that, we need to execute the previous nodes. Yeah. So after executing the previous node, test this step. It is saying that invalid date time format, line number 47. So let's check at the line number 47 what we have. It is a throw new error, invalid date or time format. So actually it has not got the proper date time format. So let's see what is the problem here. Okay, so we need to pass the duration properly. So here is the data duration. I'm removing this. Maybe there can be the issue of means. Okay, then convert to date time format. So here we were giving the message content that is a start time. So instead of start time, we will be using the requested time. Content and data. Yeah, so here we are passing the date. So to pass that date, we will be using this formatted date. So this is the formatted date, and for the requested time, I'm using this requested time. So we can remove this requested time and drag and drop here this requested time. So now it should work. Here is also one change, that is the date. So I'm taking this formatted date here and pasting here, and let's test the steps. What happens? Yeah, so we got the start time and end time. So this is the start time and end time. So it has converted into the IST format. That's why it is 9 to 9:30. So no worries, we can do that also. After that, we need to check the availability on the calendar for that time. So I am adding the Google Calendars node. Get availability in calendar, that is the action. So the operation will be the availability calendar from list I am choosing. So I have already added the credentials to the Google Calendar, so I am using that only. So I am selecting the calendar for myself, that is agendaventures@gmail.com, and the start time is going to be a start date. And end time is going to be the end date. So now it will check the availability from my calendar from the start time to end time. So let's test this step. Yeah, so in my calendar, this slot is available. So based on this value, we will be adding one if else. So we are adding this if else, like if the slot is available, then book this or schedule the call for that time. If it is not, then give the alternative time to our AI assistant and let the customer choose from that alternative times. So here we are adding the flow. In the flow, we are adding the if. In the if, we are checking the available. First value is the available is equals to. We need to check with the true. If it is equals to true, it is saying that true is a boolean but was expecting a string. Okay, let's remove this and see this. Test it. It is expecting a string. What is the problem here? Okay, let's have a fix. It is the true. and it is also true. I think we need to take this first parameter into the string. So it will return us in the string format. So now it will return us in the string format. So we can check with the string. So now let's test this step. Yeah. So it has created a true branch and a false branch. So let's add the proper nodes to it after the true. So after true, we need to schedule the call. So for that, we will be using the Google Calendar. Google Calendar, create an event. So to create an event, I need to select the calendar. So I'm selecting the my calendar only. That is a Zeno Ventures which I have created for this tutorial. Start time is going to be the start date, like previous. End time is like end date. Drag and drop here. And we can add the additional fields. So we have the description and title. So we can add that data here. So I'm adding the description. So for adding this description, we need to drag this description from here and add here. So now we will be having the description of the sales call. Then we need to add the title. To add the title, we have to add this summary tag. So we are adding this summary field. In the summary field, I am adding this title, dragging and dropping here. So I'm opening my calendar first. So we can see that it is working properly. Calendar. Google Calendar. Yeah, so it's Friday and I don't have any meetings today. So now let's check. Test it. After testing it, it has chosen the time zone as USA. Then it has creator. Who is the creator? That is the Zeno Ventures organizer. Then description. Then created time, updated. Then tag. All this information it has given to us. So now let's check in our Google Calendar what if it has said that data or not. Yeah. So it is. Means it has booked one slot for the tomorrow, that is the 15th at 7:30 p.m. So because of the I'm recording this in the IST and the time zone which I have selected, that is the USA. So that's why there is a 5 hours difference here. So that's why because of time zone it is selecting the time after the 5 hours, that is the 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. So this is how the event is gonna set. So now we have to add another steps, that is the after scheduling the event, we need to inform to the owner that the event has been scheduled. So for that we are adding one Gmail node. So here in the Gmail I am adding a node, that is the send a message. In the send a message, we need to send a message to whom? So we can send this message to the client also and to ourselves also. So for our case, I'm just selecting myself, that is the organizer's email ID here. Then subject is going to be the title of the meet. So here I'm going here in the data and selecting the title as the subject. So this is going to be my subject. Then the message which I'm selecting is discovery. We can say that. Okay. So instead of adding the title here, I am adding the subject. That is subject is going to be the add meet with the customer name. Okay, so meet with this John. Then email type is going to be HTML. So in the HTML we are adding the title. What is going to be the title? Then I am adding the BR tag here. Then the name of the customer. So I need to add title. This is a title. Then customer name. Customer name, drag and drop here. Add BR tag. Drag and drop this customer name here. Yeah. After that, customer email ID. Customer email. Drag and drop here. Add BR tag. So actually this BR tag is doing line ending work. So after the customer name we need to have the ending. So and this customer email should go on to the next line. For that I'm adding this BR tag. Then add the description for the call, so that you are already prepared that what is going to be discussed in the call. So yeah, we have added all this data: title, customer name, email, description. Let's add the event link also. Event details. I'm adding the event link. So for this event link, we need to drop this HTML link from the Google Calendar, paste it here. So now let's test this step. So firstly, let me open my Gmail box. Gmail, yeah, here is my inbox. So in my inbox, we can see that we don't have any email currently. So now let's test it. Test tab. So now the email has been sent. Let's check into our mailbox. Refresh it. That's loading. Yeah. So I have this our N8N has sent this message that meet with John. The title is AI Sales Automation Discovery Call. Customer name is John. Customer email is zeniovinces@gmail.com, and the description is like that. AI Sales Automation Discovery Call and event details. So actually we missed the BR tag. So that's why it has come on this line. So that's why we are adding the BR tag here. So this is going to be the event details. If we click on this event details, it will redirect us to the Google Calendar onto that event. So here we can see that this email was sent automatically with N8N. We have to remove this. So for that we will add this option here and append N8N attribution. So after adding this option, just deactivate this option and then test this step. After testing this step, we can see that we got one more mail with John. So here no description from the N8N is due. CRM to get this data into our CRM for the analysis purpose. So for this tutorial I'm using the Excel sheet. So for the Excel sheet I'm using the Google Sheet. So select the Google Sheets. From the Google Sheets I'm going to append the every data into a single sheet. So for that I'm just selecting the append to one sheet. So for that I have already created a sheet on Google Drive. So this is that sheet. In that sheet I have already created 5 columns, that is the client name, client email, title, description and calendar link. Now just select this URL and copy it. That URL is going to be needed. So first connect your credentials with the Google Sheets. For that you need to click here and create new credentials, and you need to add your authentication credentials here. Then after that, you have to select the document. To select the document, I'm using the by URL. So here paste the URL which we have copied. So it will fetch this fetch data from this URL, and it will show us all the sheets which are present in this Google sheet. So this is the sheet 1. So now this is the sheet 1. So it has fetched all the column names which are present on there. So this is the previous nodes data. So this data how we have got. So I will explain you, but before that I need to map this data first. So let's map it. So this is the client name, client email. Just drag the customer email and paste it here. For a title, paste it here. For a description, paste here. For the calendar link, go on to your calendar screen, and here we need to pick this HTML link and paste it here. So now let's test this step. After testing this step, it should store this data into our Excel sheet. Now let's refresh our Excel sheet here. It should have stored this data. It's loading. Yeah, it has stored. It is saying it has stored. Yeah. So here you can see that we have the second row which is added with this data. So yeah, this is how the data is going to be stored in the Excel sheet. So now let me show you how we got this data. So actually there are two ways to get the previous nodes data for our mapping purpose or for any handling purpose. So one way is to directly get the data from the web by calling the VAPI AI assistant and call the API through the voice assistant, that is the VAPI which we are using for this case. So what it will do, that we will talk with the assistant, then it will in the backend it is going to call, it is going to shoot an API request. Then with the help of webhook onto our N8N, we will be catching that network request and we will be having this all the data. So for that we need to go on to our webhook node, and on the webhook node we just need to select the test URL. After selecting the test URL, just copy this URL and go on to our VAPI screen. After going on to our VAPI screen, go on to our tools. In the tools section we need to configure the server URL. So here is the server URL. So here you need to paste the server URL. So I have already pasted here webhook test, and here I have pasted. So after that you need to check if that URL is if this URL is connected or not. For that you have to first listen for the event. So testing node overrides the pin data. Okay. So for your demonstration purpose, I am unpinning this data. Okay. So now it is listening. So you need to do one thing. You have to select this option test and send the request. So it is sending a blank request with the blank data. It is not sending any data. It is just to check the check if it is catching our network request or not. So it has given us the response as 200. So 200 means, and the status 200 means that request is properly found and it has executed. You can also send the data into the request body in the JSON format, but instead of sending the data into the JSON format, I am preferred to directly call this API through our assistant. So for that, what we are gonna do, go on to our voice assistant. Then I'm just listening the event. So now listen to event. Let's stop with our assistant. Okay.
Hi, I am Mary from Automize AI. How can I assist you today in enhancing your business with AI?
So actually, I want to introduce automation into my business processes and optimize my business processes.
That's a great decision. May I have your name to personalize our conversation?
Yeah, my name is Anand.
Lovely to meet you, Anand. Could you tell me a bit about your business? For example, is it in e-commerce, healthcare, SaaS, or another industry?
So actually, I run an advertising agency, and specifically I work in SaaS.
Got it. Anant, an advertising agency with a focus on SaaS. Very exciting. Do you already have a specific business process in mind that you'd like to automate, or would you like me to suggest some possibilities for your industry?
So actually, I want to analyze every sales call of my people. So you can consider that I want to create an automation which will analyze every sales call which is happening on Zoom.
That's a fantastic idea, Anand. AI can help analyze sales calls by transcribing them, extracting key insights, tracking performance metrics, and even providing feedback to improve future calls. Would you like to connect with Mr. Anand for a detailed consultation on implementing this AI solution?
Yeah, I would love to.
Great. When would you be available for a quick call with Mr. Anand? Please provide a date and time that works for you.
Can we do it tomorrow at 4:30 p.m.?
Let me check the availability for tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. for the 30-minute call. Could you please provide your email address to confirm the booking?
Yeah, my email address is anand@automizeai.com.
Thank you, Anand. Just to confirm, your email address is anand@autonomouseye.com, correct?
Yeah, it's correct.
One moment, you'll even.
So now it has break, but just we need to we wanted to just get this data. So this is how I got this data. So let's break our conversation with the assistant first. Otherwise, it is gonna charge us. Yeah, for I'm ending this call. Okay, so let's hop onto our N8N screen. Just spin this data for the for our future purpose. So this is how we got the data. In the data, we here you can see that. Oh, sorry. It has not got that property data. We need to call it again. Yeah, let's listen for test event. Go on to our screen here. Top with the Mary again. So now I'm pretending the another person like John or anything.
Hi, I am Mary from Automize AI. How can I assist you today in enhancing your business with AI?
So actually my name is John. I run a SaaS agency and I want to analyze every sales call. So can you please book a call with Mr. Anand?
Hi, John. It's great to meet you. Analyzing sales calls with AI is a fantastic idea. AI can help transcribe calls, analyze sentiment, identify key topics, and even provide actionable insights to improve your sales strategy. I'd be happy to connect you with Mr. Anand for a consultation. When would you be available for a quick call?
Can we do it tomorrow at 4:30 p.m.?
Sure, John. Let me check the availability for tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. for a 30-minute call. Could you please provide your email address to confirm the booking?
Yeah, it's example@gmail.com.
This will just take a sec.
So now here you can see that it has called this webhook node webhook, and this is how we create the data. So let's pin this data and end the conversation with our VAPI assistant. So end this call. So after ending this, go onto our screen. So here you can see that we have the tool call ID, then date, time, title, duration, description, custom name, customer event. So we got all the information which we require for the scheduling the call purpose. So this is how we got this data. So after that we need to return back to that request. So for that we will be using the respond to webhook. So actually in that respond to webhook we need to add two things. One is the two things in the JSON format. One is the tool ID. So it will and second thing is going to be the an message or any data that it needs to be sent. So here I am sending the data like this successfully schedule and call. So first execute the previous node. So this is how here we will get the previous node's data. Yeah, here we got the previous node data. Then here in the respond with we need to select the JSON. After selecting the JSON, we need to add the response here. So here's the response. Response. Then this is going to be an array. In that, okay, first we get like this. Here we need to pass the tool ID. So the actual name of that is adds tool calls. So we will give the name as tool calls ID. Okay, tool calls ID. So in that, here we will pasting this ID here. Okay, after adding this ID, not here, we need to paste it here. Then after comma, add the response. So here we need to add the responses. Responses can be the array of response, and the response is successfully scheduled successfully booked slot. You can say that. Let's test this step. Is for body parameter invalid. So okay, here is something invalid. And let's see what is the issue here. This not so here this data we need to give into the codes, otherwise it will not treat it as a JSON format. So here we have provided this in the codes, and here instead of the responses we can say results. Here also result. Now let's test it. So what result it has given? So it is saying still error. What is this? Let's check. Okay, paste over here. So what it is saying? Node operation failed. Invalid JSON in the response body. Okay, one thing we can do. Just copy it. Go to JSON formatter. Online JSON formatter. Here, open this link, paste it here data, paste our data here. Paste our data here. After pasting this data, it is saying there's parse error on line number 3. Line number 3 is this. And what is the parse error here? It is saying that term call ID. I think they want space here. Let's test it. Well later. Because what is the issue here? The saying not this. Our error on line number 3 is expecting. Okay, it is an array of object, so we need to consider it as an object. remove this comma here. Let's validate now. Till issue. What is the issue here? Parser expecting string. So now we have to handle the false case. So for the false case, we need to first fetch all the events. To fetch it, we need to add our calendar here first. So I am using the Google Calendar. We can use the Calendly or anything. So here is the multiple options are there, event actions. So I am selecting the get many events. So for the get many events, we need to first add our credentials, then select the calendar here. So I am selecting one of my calendar. Then limit, we can limit this data to 10. So it will fetch only the next 10 events. So we need to fetch after. So what we can do, we can fetch after that data, means fetch after the date which is mentioned. So for that, first we need to take this data. To take this data into the false branch, we need to make this condition as falsy. To make this condition as falsy, just select it as a false. Let's test this step. Okay, it will give data in the false state. So here I'm just selecting the format after today. Before I'm removing everything, let's test this step. How much data it will give us. So it has fetched all the events from this date. So this are all the events. So next step is we are gonna sort, means we are going to filter out the events based on their date and based on the slots for that day only. So for that we need to add one code node. So to add this code node, we need to just select code. So now here in the JavaScript function, we need to add one code. So I have already created that code. I will share with you. So I will paste it here. So here I'm pasting. So this is the all this code. So I will explain this code first. So firstly, what we have done, and the line number 58, we have taken all the starting events, all the events. So it is with the $input.all.map. So what it has done, that it is taking all the data from this previous input and it is iterating over it using the map function, and we will be mapping the data by using the start and end date here. So here is the start and end. So this data will be like starting date, starting timing and ending date. So this is in the objects. So here I am also logging this data onto the console. If you want to see this data, you just need to open your console, and after running this executing this node, you can see that data onto your console. So this will be helpful for debugging purpose. Then at line number 64, what I am doing, that I am getting the available slots. So to get the available slots, I am passing the two details, and means I am passing the multiple inputs, but in that multiple inputs there are two inputs, that is the starting time and ending time. I'm just means we are just checking, we are getting the available slot in the timing of 9 a.m. to 17 p.m. that is the 5 p.m. So here is the day start, that is 9 a.m. day end is the 17. Duration I have selected as a default as 30, and inside that we have multiple functions. That time to minutes, it will convert that time into the minutes. Then there is one more function that will convert the minutes into the time, that is in the HHMM format. So here at the line number 16, I have added one filter here, so it will filter out all the events before that date only. So this is that. Then here I am mapping the events into the minutes, so this is that code page. And here I have also used this map function. Then events in minutes, so I have sorted this, then converted into the start of the day and end of the day. So I have taken the start of the day, end of the day, then the current time, and based on that I am calculating the available slots. So if the available slots length is greater than 0, it means we have the available slots. If we don't have available slot, it will simply return the no slots are available. So this was the code for it, so we can test it. So if we run this as this step, it will give us all these slots. So these are all the slots of 30 minutes on that day. So these are all the slots which are available. After that, we need to simply respond back to the request. So for that, just add one more node, that is the respond to webhook. And the respond to webhook, as previous, we need to return some data. So the data is like, first is the tool ID, and we need to return then data. So for that, we have to select the JSON here. Then inside the response body, just add imports results. You need to return the objects. In the objects, first pin will be tool call ID. What is tool call ID? You will be storing some details. So that tool call ID is exactly similar as the previous one. So that is this one, tool calls to ID. Just paste it here. Yeah, I need to pick it from here. Paste it here. Can't determine which item to choose. Execute more for more reports. I saying like that. Why it is saying? Let's see. Okay. This is the wrong tool ID. That's why it is saying that. Remove this. You have to take the tool ID from the webhook node. So let's go on to our webhook node first. In the webhook node, we will having the tool ID here. He calls ID. Yeah, we need to pick this ID and use it. Then we need to add our other information. String. So we can add here a result. In the result we can simply add the codes, and from the previous data, from the previous JSON, we can directly use this code. Okay, let's use this JSON movie. Available slots, put it here. JSON available slots. Or toasting. No, we should not pass it like this. You should pass all the JSON, whole JSON. Okay, just I'm just checking how we can do that. Sun dot toasting. Let's do toasting base. Okay, remove this code. Let's test this step. Use the item method doesn't work with pin data. In this scenario, please unpin code and try again. Okay, we can do that also. See it must. Is it getting proper data or not? Tool call ID, but we have the tool call ID. It should refer this. I'm giving this. Let's test it. Okay, I think it is gonna work with the our agent. So here we need to change this data. So here in the respond, we are selected when last node finishes. Instead of that, choose respond to webhook node. So select this respond to webhook node. Then listen, unpin this data, and listen for the event. Please resolve outstanding issues before you activate it. Okay, let's see what is the issue here. Here is the tool call ID issue. Why it is giving us issue? Okay, go. Yeah. Let's test it. Okay, problem in node normalized time. So in the normalized time there is some issue. Let's see what is that issue. I think it is not referring the proper date, so that's why this issue is there. We have to select this formatted date, not the data's date. So data's time. Oh no. I think this is proper. We don't got any data, that's why this problem is here. Yeah. Okay, let's do one thing. Test this with VAPI assistant. Before that, we need to make one change here. In the if block, we had
We support you today in enhancing your business with AI.
Make it true. Yeah, go back.
It seems like the message got cut off.
Let's do it. Okay. Hi Mary, my name is Anand and I want to introduce automation into my business.
Hi, Anand. It's great to meet you. Could you tell me a bit more about your business? What industry are you in? E-commerce, SaaS, healthcare, or something else?
So actually I work in SaaS and I want to integrate an sales calls voice agent into my system. For that, can you please let me know all the slots available for tomorrow?
That's an excellent idea, Anand. Integrating a sales calls voice agent can significantly enhance efficiency and customer engagement in your SaaS business. Before I check the availability for tomorrow, could you please share your email address?
Yeah,
Let me confirm the booking for you.
actually my email address is anand@automizai.com.
Thank you, Anand. So your email is adam@automizai.com. Let me now check the availability for tomorrow. Could you
Yeah.
also let me know the duration you prefer for the call, or should I say 30 minutes?
Yeah, you can consider 30 minutes.
This will just take a sec.
So now it has broken in normalized time. So let's see what is the issue here. In the normalized time, it is taking the time from the here, but it has not got the time. So let's see in the previous data what is the issue. In the formatted date and time, let's see what is.
It looks like I missed the time for the call. It seems like there was an issue with checking the availability. Let's try again. Could you please provide a specific time for the call tomorrow? This will help me check the availability accurately.
Yeah. Let's click at time as 3:30.
This will just take a sec.
Can you please reach it again? Hey Mary. Yeah, it was ended. Let's do it again.
Automize AI. How can I assist you today in enhancing your business with AI?
So actually, I want to integrate an AI-powered voice assistant into my business.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. May I have your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Anand.
Nice to meet you, Alan. Could you tell me a bit about your business? What industry are you in? E-commerce, healthcare, SaaS, or something else?
So actually, I run an advertising agency. I work in SaaS.
Great. An AI-powered voice assistant can be a game changer for an advertising agency, especially in sales. Do you already have a specific use case in mind, or would you like some help?
I don't have an use case in my mind.
No problem, Alan. AI-powered voice assistants can help in various ways, such as automating client interactions, scheduling meetings, providing instant responses to common queries, and even assisting in lead qualification. This can save time and improve efficiency in your sales process. Would you like to connect with Mr. Anand to explore these possibilities further?
Yeah, I would love to.
Fantastic. When would you be available for a quick call with Mr. Anand? Please let me know your preferred date and time.
Yeah, can we do it tomorrow 3:30 p.m.?
Great. Let me check the availability for tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. for a 30-minute call. May I have your email address to confirm the booking?
Yeah, it's anand@automizai.com.
Just a sec.
Can you please recheck it?
Give me a moment. It looks like the slot for tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. is unavailable. However, we do have several alternative slots open. Here are some options: 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., 12:30 p.m., 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m., 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m., 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m.,
Mary.
to 3 p.m.
Hello, Mary. Can we do it for 12 p.m.?
Hi, Alan. Hold on a sec.
So actually, we are testing it in the testing environment, and in the testing environment, when we listen the event, so it is going to listen for only one time, not for the twice. So if you want to listen multiple times, then we need to activate this workflow, and we need to use the production URL so that it can call as many times as the voice assistant wants to call the API. So this is how it is working. So now let's see how we can do, means how we can add an mobile number and to its production, make it production ready. Now we can add phone number to it. So any inbound query means we require one phone number for to handle the inbound calls. For that we will be using Twilio. So to go onto the Twilio, so actually I already have an account on Twilio. So for that, just go onto the Twilio and create your account. After creating your account, you will get $15 as a free credit. Then after that, you have to buy a number. To buy a number, just go onto here, buy a number. So here are multiple numbers, and here is the filter. So you can add your country, in which country you want your number to be registered. Then its capabilities, that voice, SMS, MMS, fax. So we just require the voice. So I have just selected voice, and it has given us the search result, that is the numbers, and I have bought one number. So you can see in active numbers, after buying, you can see your number entry here. So this is my number. Then you have to go onto your profile in user settings. After going into the user setting, you have to get the API, its API key, then session SID. So why it is needed? Because if we hop onto our VAPI screen, so here you can see that in the phone numbers, we need to add the phone number. To add the phone number, what we have to do, just click on the create phone number and import from Twilio. So here import Twilio, this option is there. So here you need to add the details, like what is the phone number which you have bought, then what is the SID of that Twilio account, then authentication token. So this account SID and authentication token is in the user setting. So it is getting open. So actually I logged out from this page. I have to log in. So I need to add this code. For that, firstly it has sent me a code into my email. So I have to open my email and take that code and copy that and paste it into the VAPI. In the inbox, I need to refresh it. Yeah, so here is the code. So this is the verification code. I'm just copying it and pasting onto our Twilio's console. So after verifying, it will show us the user settings so that we can see our SID and authentication token.
mình终于呀，đây đây đi, bị bay gì? Hoa tia, áo tàu của, đó, bên, sao Snake seven like you be. What? You là. Ra đó bây giờ. Có đồ ăn đi.
So actually here from here we can access the SID, but it's not showing us the our authentication token. For that I'm hopping onto the console. I'm looking for that. Okay, how to get that API, sorry, authentication token. So this authentication token is needed for us to communicate between our this Twilio mobile number and with the our VAPI. So I'm going on to this monitor. No, in monitor also it is not there. In the verification, if it is there or not. No, not here. Let's scroll it down. Yeah, sorry. It's here only. So you just need to go on to develop. In the verifications, you can see your account SID and your third authentication token and your Twilio mobile number. You just have to copy this data and paste it into your VAPI screen. So here your mobile number will be there. Then here SID. Then here your token ID. Then here is your label. So after that it will start working, and after that you need to add this data here. So the assistant, which assistant you want to use for this mobile number. So I have selected Mary. So Mary is the assistant which just we have created, and here you can add the fallback destination number. So if the assistant is not available, then where should this call go? So you can add your mobile number here. So currently I have not added this. So this is how we can add any mobile number onto your VAPI, and we can use our assistant. So I will show you now a demo of it. How it is working. So I am dialing my mobile number, which we have bought from the Twilio. So this is my mobile. So I have dialed this. So now let's call with it.
You have a trial account. You can remove this message at any time by upgrading to a full account. Press any key to execute your code.
Hi, I'm Mary from Automiz AI. How can I assist you today in enhancing your business with AI?
So actually I want to integrate an automation into my business.
That's wonderful to hear. May I have your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Anand.
Nice to meet you, Anand. Could you tell me a bit about your business? What industry are you in? E-commerce, healthcare, SaaS, or something else?
Yeah, I run an SaaS business. I have an advertising agency.
Got it, Anand. Do you already have a specific AI use case in mind? Or would you like me to suggest some possibilities for your SaaS agency?
So actually, I want to analyze every sales call of my salespeople, because it is happening on Zoom and I cannot attend every sales call. But I want the information about all the calls, what happened in that, what are the red flags of the customer, what customer have said. So actually I want minute of meeting, and I want this data for analysis purpose into my CRM.
That's a fantastic use case, Anand. AI can definitely help with analyzing sales calls. We can implement solutions that automatically transcribe and analyze your Zoom calls, extract key insights, identify customer sentiments, and even integrates this data into your CRM for further analysis. This will help you keep track of customer interactions and improve your sales strategies. Would you like to connect with Mr. Anand for a more detailed consultation on this?
Yeah, I would love to.
Perfect. When would you be available for a quick call with Mr. Anand? Please let me know your preferred date and time.
Can we do it in upcoming Monday at 2:30 p.m.?
Great. Let me check the availability for a call on the upcoming Monday at 2:30 p.m. for 30 minutes. Could you please provide your email address to confirm the booking?
Yeah, it's zenvioventures@gmail.com.
Thank you. Thank you, Anand. Let me confirm the availability for the call on Monday at 2:30 p.m. Please hold on for a moment. Just a sec. It seems that the slot for 2:30 p.m. on Monday is not available. However, there are several other time slots open on that day. Here are some options: 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 10 a.m., 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., 11 a.m. to 11:30.
Okay, can we do it for 11 a.m.?
Slot from 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Monday is available. Shall I go ahead and book it for you?
Yeah, please.
Just a sec.
You're all set, Anand. Your consultation with Mr. Anand is scheduled for Monday at 11 a.m. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly. Looking forward to helping you automate your business. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I don't have any questions.
You're welcome. Anand, have a great day, and I look forward to our call on Monday.
So now we have seen that how it is calling. So our agent is working perfectly fine. And now let's see if it has book and call or not. So to verify this, we just have to, we will be going on to our Google Calendar. So actually my Google Calendar is, means I have given the location as the USA. So it will match the data with 5-hour adjustment. So if you can see here, for the Monday, on Monday, that's the 17th. So yeah, so it has scheduled a call at 4 p.m. because I told you that I have means we have an adjustment of 5 hours, so that's why. So we have given its slot as the 11 to 11:30. So it has chosen the 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. So if you see here in the the title of this call is consultation of AI automation for SaaS, and the description is discuss AI solutions for analyzing sales calls and CRM integration. So it has analyzed it and created a proper description. So now let's see the email. So go on to the inbox part. So yeah, here you can see that we have the meeting summary, means the summary of that call, like the title of the sales call, then customer name, who was the customer, then what is the customer email address, then the description, what should be the what is happening in that call, and the event details link. So if we click on this event details link, it will hop onto our calendar and show us the event details. So I'm just clicking on it. Yeah, so after clicking on it, it is showing us the detail of the call which which Anand has just scheduled. So this is the details of that. Now let's see the CRM part. So we have created one Excel sheet to update the data. So here is this Excel sheet. So let's check in that data is properly saved or not. So yeah, if you can see here at line number 15 that it has added the proper data, that is the client name, client email, then the title of the call, description, and the calendar link. So we can use this data and we can store that data into our CRM for the personalized follow-ups and a lot more things. We can also customize our fields, and we can also take the other data too from our receptionist. Yeah. So that was it. Thank you.